What you're about to watch is what I would classify as absolutely f***ed up.
Signal one.
It is a classic example of what's happening in the world today where it's complete open season on police officers.
Duck season. Duck season. Duck season.
Get off my gun! Get off my gun! He's on top of me!
Watch crossfire,
May 11th, 2023, Fairfax County, Virginia. We got a 38-year-old suspect named Brandon Lemon. He is driving a stolen U-Haul truck. How officers are made aware that it's stolen is that it passed by a stationary tag reader. And when it does that, it alerts any officers that are on duty. It'll show them a picture of the vehicle, the tag number associated with it, and an alert that it is stolen. Now the U-Haul truck pulls into the gas station where we see the officer encounter this suspect for the first time. So you have the suspect in the red hat walking away from the U-Haul, kind of concealing himself behind that other civilian's vehicle. That should be a red flag number one.
U-Haul?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you talk to me real quick over here? Of course. All right, we're gonna go right over here, man.
What did I do?
What?
I said, what did I do?
All right, it's right here. All right. Right now you're being detained, okay? This report's stolen.
Why? Since when?
You're not in a restaurant, you're just being detained, okay?
What's
This is going to go bad real quick.
221 Bravo, hold the channel, send me a unit to Sicko up here by North Walmart.
What the
Sir, you're good. Get off my gun. Signal one, go to my gun.
What's report is stolen?
Sir, get off my gun.
This suspect is absolutely manhandling this officer. The officer gave up his gun side to the suspect very early on, pulled those handcuffs out a little too quick. This is not only bad tactics, but this is a culmination of a culture that we're having now, which is open season on police officers. What this officer needs to be thinking about doing right now is everything within his power to get this guy off of him. This is a deadly threat all day. If he had a secondary weapon on him, if he was able to get to that, a secondary firearm, he could shoot this guy right now. Absolutely authorized use of deadly force. This guy is doing everything in his power to rip that gun off the belt. And now look at him. He just opened the officer's door. For what? I don't know. Looking for another weapon?
Get off my gun! Get off my gun! He's going for my gun! He's going for my gun!
Please just get back.
Get off my gun!
Somehow the vehicle gets put into reverse and they are off to the races. Now we're going to switch to the body cam view of the officer, just kind of get a different angle on what's happening.
Hey, sir.
Can I do something?
Driving a U-Haul?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you talk to me real quick over here? Of course. All right, we're going to go right over here, man.
So I think this officer's thrown off by how compliant this guy's being, and again, how
It's right here.
kind of soft and effeminate he's being.
Right now you're being detained, okay? So
what?
this report's stolen.
Why? Since
You're
when?
not in a restaurant, you're just being detained, okay?
What's report is stolen?
All right. 221 Bravo, hold the channel, send me a unit to Sicko up here by North Walmart.
What the
Sir, you're good. Get off my gun. Signal one, go to my gun!
What's report is stolen?
Sir, get off my gun.
The thing I am most frustrated with at this point is that with a ton of, quote, diversity training or maybe de-escalation, this officer is still calling this sir and being very polite and professional while this suspect is trying to pull a gun out, which we can only assume once he gets that gun out, he's going to shoot the officer. There ain't no question about it. This is absolute deadly force, and this officer is still trying to be, I don't know what the word is, polite and gentle and thoughtful about this kind suspect, and he doesn't want to be discriminating. No, all of that goes out the window, and it's time to act like an absolute predator, a warrior, and this officer is not bringing the fight. He is being very passive and very submissive, and it is unbelievably frustrating to watch. Listen to how he speaks to this suspect in a life or death scenario.
Sir, you're not going to jail right now, right? Get off my gun.
Nah, you're gonna...
I'm not going.
All units, we're going to call this signal 1, no response.
my gun! Get off my gun! He's going for my gun! He's going for my gun!
Please just get back.
Get off my gun!
All right, now we're gonna switch to responding officers' body cameras. At least 2 to 3 other officers show up right at the exact point that the assailant, the suspect, pushes the officer into the car and it gets put into reverse. Once it gets in reverse is around the same time that 2 or 3 other officers are showing up. They don't know what the hell is going on. They can't see where their partner is. All they see is this vehicle moving backwards at a rapid pace.
Just crashed into the Walmart.
Now, this first officer is a straight up cowboy, spraying and praying. I mean, I'm happy he's putting rounds on target, but it's a little wild because he has no idea who or what he's shooting at. He has no idea that his partner is in the car at this time. Completely empties his mag, reloading. Now, here's another officer coming up. I love this officer right here. This guy's a hero.
Get down on the fucking ground! He's on top of me! Watch crossfire! Watch crossfire! You good, Ryan? Come here, brother.
This is what I call swift justice. You want to try to kill a police officer, you want to try to kidnap him and rip through a parking lot in reverse and nearly run people over is unacceptable. This officer handles business. We don't need this to go before a judge or a jury. We don't need to spend the next 40, 60, 80 years paying for room and board for this suspect. He ends the threat right then and there with what I would describe as a contact shot. Again, pay attention to the black officer, how he pulls this suspect out and stops the threat.
Watch crossfire! Watch crossfire!
Good night.
You good, Ryan? Come here, brother.
That's what should have happened in the first place.
Let's go.
Where you shot? Where you shot?
Now their concern is, did they have friendly fire on the officer? And again, that first officer did a complete mag dump into the car. And yeah, the suspect was on top of the officer for the most part, but I think he actually gets hit once or twice.
Get the blowout kit on the cruiser. He gone, man. He gone, man. Don't even bother. Leave him how he is.
He's gone, man. He's gone. Don't even bother him. You're right. You're right. Now, technically speaking, we are trained to continue to render aid until fire rescue gets there. You know what life-saving measures you're going to do with a contact shot to the head is what it looked like. Again, I'm a little jaded, been in the game a long time, but when you, out of nowhere and for no reason, try to rip an officer's gun out of their gun belt, and I don't mean for a split second. I mean, this guy went at it for a solid minute, doing everything he could to pull it out. You can see how much force he was using, putting his whole body weight behind it, absolutely manhandling this police officer who was more than polite, more than fair. In fact, I would argue too polite, too soft, too sweet, too gentle, and it did no favors for this police officer who was this close to losing his life. Had he not had a retention holster on, we would be having a completely different story. We'd be talking about how this officer got absolutely executed. I am so happy that this officer made it out in one piece. Horrible, horrible tactics. I think a lot of lessons were learned. Don't give your gun side to the suspect. There was no need to rush to put handcuffs on this guy. He was playing it cool. You could have played it cool. Those officers were only like 60 seconds away as far as backup goes. That's super, super close. You gotta be a little more stealthy, a little more slicker than the bad guy. Getting on the radio and requesting a unit right in front of the bad guy.
221 Bravo, hold the channel, send me a unit to Sicko up here by North Walmart.
What? Just gave your hand away completely. Distance, man, distance. Know what you can and can't handle, and basically don't step into a big pile of shit unless you're ready to dig yourself out of it. I hate to talk bad about police officers. I think the officer, what am I supposed to say? He bit off more than he could chew. And then I'm telling you what, if someone goes for your gun, all bets are off. In closing, the officer did survive this scenario, but barely. Had his backup not been about 60 seconds away, it could have been a lot worse. Those two other officers that showed up on scene, absolute heroes, and stopped the threat. And I'm very proud of them for doing that. Let's use tactics. Let's get some better training. If we find ourselves in the middle of a shit sandwich storm, then be prepared to be an absolute warrior and crush the opposition. And this video is a beautiful case in point on how f***ed up this country is becoming because it's open season on police officers, and I can't stand it anymore. So continue to be polite, continue to be respectful, but when someone tries to kill you, you need to kill them first. See you on the next video.